At what age are you too old to say slay?
Was it born in the Millennial? So like we could kind of take it to our grave, I feel like. Is it kind of Gen Z? She ate right there.
Oh, ate, left no crumbs. Slay the house down, boots mama. Mother.
That's very Trixie Mattel.
Kind of. I guess I'm a drag queen now. Drag queen? Honey, I'm the queen of drag. I love RuPaul. Life of a content creator. Who thought it would be so stressful?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our first official episode of the Young Millennials podcast. I'm Billy.
I'm Lex. Long pause. Millennial pause.
Millennial pause.
So cringe. And then you know what's funny? Like, we do that. It's like record 3 seconds. Hey, guys.
It's because of Snapchat, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Like
I think that's
everything.
how it, like every video recording app, like back in the day, like there was a delay. You couldn't just start talking. We weren't privileged.
I'm literally
like that.
appalled at myself when I do that. Like when I go back and
pause.
edit it. The worst is I still sometimes forget to edit it out.
You live and you learn.
Okay. I have it so good, but like I can't look at my phone.
Just like read through it, think about it, and just kind of go off of that.
It's like wordy, like fuck. I'm never going to remember that.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
I might be able to do it at this point. Read it back to me.
Today's discussion will roughly be about entering our 30s and the significant milestones marked by a newfound sense of maturity and self-awareness.
That is very wordy. This is too much. Can we just like go off the rip?
Yeah. Today we'll be discussing entering our 30s with our newfound awareness and what we learned from our 20s and what we could bring into our 30s.
I'll take it.
Okay, but first, how is your week, Lex? How are you doing? What's new?
No complaints over here. And even if I had complaints, I save that for my therapist. That's what I pay her for. No one needs to hear me, bitch.
Loves it.
Yeah, I've been doing my best, trying to get back on my routine. You know, going on vacation always like messes that up. So I'm trying to get back into that. And I'm feeling good.
For me, this week has definitely been testing my anxiety, my patience, my life. But I'm happy to be sitting here discussing this week with you, as this is pretty much my highlight right now.
Love to hear it. I'm glad you feel that way about me. Slay.
Slay. Okay, so do we want to get into this week's topic?
Yeah, let's get into it.
So we're discussing what we learned in our 20s that we're taking into our 30s and what maybe we should have picked up in our 20s, or we're kind of picked up in the late 20s and we're definitely taking to the 30s.
Definitely could have done better, but what are you gonna do? Nothing. You live and you learn.
I think you should go first.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. Let's get it together.
Because like I'm a bit shook right now.
Yeah. So I guess a few things I took away from my 20s. I mean, I definitely learned a lot, but if I had to summarize it, first and foremost, and I feel like this speaks to everyone, no matter how old you are, fuck that job. Because I can't tell you how many times like a job has screwed me over where I had put my heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears into that job, all for them to just be like, bye, you're out of here. And it's like, for what? I've missed birthdays, I've missed parties, I've missed family events, all because of a fucking job. And I've learned, fuck that job, take your PTO, go on vacation. There's always going to be another day of work, but the birthdays, the memories, they're few and far between. Like, I literally missed a first birthday party. Like, that doesn't happen again. It's just only one first birthday. So definitely fuck that job, period. And I will take that with me.
What's PTO?
Pay time off.
Oh.
Life of a content creator. Billy doesn't know what PTO is. But I also am an entrepreneur, my own boss, and I don't have PTO. So I guess I also can't relate. I've never had pay time off. I just take off and don't make money. So yeah, fuck that job. And I guess to segue into my next point is that life goes so fast. Literally, like we mentioned this last week, I feel like I was just a kid. And if you don't take a step back and look and really see what's in front of you, you're going to miss it. Enjoy the moments, really be present, spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, go out of your way to reach out to people. Because people are so, caught up with their regular life where maybe you forget to text your friend, or maybe you've been meaning to, but you put it off. if you think about someone, text them. Like, that's how I go about my life. Like, I'll be looking through my camera roll, and if I see a funny video from, like, you know, a few years ago, me and a friend, I send it to them, and I'm like, oh my God, thinking of you, miss you, here's this moment. And I think it's important to put the effort in. And some people are like, well, the phone works both ways. Yeah, but you can still be the bigger person and text someone if you think about them. It's not the end of the world. Totally. So I guess that's like really two big things I take away from my 20s. More about caring about your own life and fuck that job.
For me, I would say prioritizing health. And by health,
absolutely,
I mean health journey. For me, like, I've always been skinny my whole life. So, like, I just felt like I didn't really need to prioritize that because
same.
My metabolism was my best friend.
Mm-hmm. I was putting down 2 Big Macs, you know, 4 times a week, and I was still a skinny queen. But my insides were rotting. They were crying for help.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I turned 25, things, like, slowly started to change. But, like, I do wish, I mean, just, like, the gym life isn't really my life, but I just wish I could have instilled those types of, like, habits, even if it's just walking or something, like, the most minimum effort.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I truly didn't need it, I guess. That's something that I learned towards the end of my 20s that I'm definitely going to full throttle apply to my 30s, but it's honestly been tough because I just don't have that in me.
But you know what? I'm going to cut you off quick because this is how I always thought. I would tell everyone, I'm not a gym girl. Like, I'm an athlete, but I rather much be playing some kind of sport. Like, I'll play 4 softball games in a day before I hit the gym for 30 minutes. But I'm also entering, like, my health era, you know, where I understand the importance of lifting weights and walking, running, all those things. And I've realized that no one is born a gym girl. You don't just come out of the womb, you're like, yeah, I'm a gym girl. You become a gym person. So that's something I'm instilling in myself. And I've been telling myself, you're a gym girl now. This is what you do. You're a healthy person. And you kind of have to almost fool yourself into believing it. And if you tell a lie, you know, long enough, it becomes the truth and you start to believe it. So that's what I've been doing, and it's honestly really been helping. I can say I'm like a healthy person now, and I never could say that before. So you kind of have to like trick yourself into believing it, and then you'll start doing it.
Love that. This will definitely be a returning topic for me.
Always.
As this will definitely be a struggle.
Listen, it's hard. It sucks. Like, nothing about it is fun. It definitely sucks. But like, I feel like when you start doing it consistently, you start to actually reap the benefits and you feel good and you're like, oh my God, wait, walking for an hour and eating right makes you feel good? Who would have thought?
I think the most unexpected part of it, you don't realize the time that goes into it too.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
In the sense of, it's not like I'm just gonna be healthy. It's like you have to do so
meal
much.
prep. I have a freaking food scale. I'm like scaling out my protein powder like I'm a crack dealer.
I think about that scale every day since you've mentioned that.
Oh
to
my
me.
God, you
I
have
need
to get it.
That.
We're gonna put it in the show notes. The best food scale ever.
That's another thing. Like, I just keep like putting it off, and like with me, like, I'm always editing and stuff, and that's just me staying still for hours on end. And then,
why don't
like,
you get a walking pad and a standing desk?
I mean, a walking pad?
Like, it's like a treadmill, but you don't run. You literally just walk. It's flat, and it's just like a treadmill.
I mean, I guess I could kind of.
They're like
$100.
$100.
I have a treadmill.
I don't know. The walking pads are a little different.
I'll have to look into that.
Definitely.
That sounds good.
I can't believe you haven't seen that. That's like all the craze of TikTok. The walking pads.
I think I know what you mean now that I'm thinking about it.
It's literally like a flat treadmill. But also you have to prioritize things that are important to you. If you want your health to be important to you, you have to prioritize it, you know? And right now it's just not a priority for you. As much as, like, I hate to say that to you, but like, it's not. You don't care right now. When you care about something, you make time for it. We have 24 hours. Everyone has the same amount of time in a day. It's just a matter of us being lazy. Because if I look at my screen time right now, I'll tell you that I spend an hour and a half at least on TikTok every day. 45 minutes of that can be spent at the gym. We have no excuse. We're just lazy bitches. And that's something...
I mean, my screen time is because I'm editing. I hate TikTok.
Yes.
I think I need to incorporate working out first thing in the morning.
Absolutely.
Because that would just maybe help my workflow. But you're right, I'm not like putting it in like the forefront because honestly, my work is in my forefront.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about balance in a bit, but I guess we might circle back to this. The next thing I do want to talk about is setting boundaries.
Period. Very important.
Especially like my first 25 years, I spent going with the flow. For example, like going out. I'm really not that type of person.
Yeah.
And I put that on other people, like feeling I have to do it because like I'm missing out and stuff.
FOMO.
And then coming to find that I never had fun really for the most part while going out. And I kind of felt like I didn't add to anything really, in the sense of everyone's like clicking and I'm kind of like the wallflower vibe.
Same.
So being that happened kind of like made me sad, I guess, where now I feel like the power of no and like trusting myself to know like what I actually want to do and not like putting that on the person to then feel empty. Honestly, I feel like it was when I moved here, so like 24, 25, it was just like I realized like that life is just really not for me. And for example, actually hold on,
to add on to that, if I may, I went through the same thing, and I was the party girl. Like if anyone wanted to hang out, they called me because I was going to say yes. And it got to a point where I was literally harming myself. I had very unhealthy habits, addictions, and it was hard to say no. And people pressure you like, come on, come on, come on. And it's hard to say no. But I started to realize every single time I would go out where I didn't want to be out, I wasn't missing anything. So every time I said yes, I was like, oh, but what if I miss this great night out? It was all the same BS. It was who's fighting at the bar, who's doing drugs in the bathroom, and they're not even hanging out with me because they're too busy doing drugs. And I was just standing there. So I realized like I'm literally not missing out on anything. Like I'd much rather be home in bed sleeping. And that's when it kind of clicked for me too.
So in your crazy like kind of party girl era, I feel like you were kind of the party. So you were saying like you weren't?
I mean, I definitely was, but I definitely
there was a turning
had
point.
my days. Like I would say half of the times I've gone out was because of me like rallying people, but the other half was like someone else wanted to go out and they knew I would say yes. I also worked in that vicinity of like Forest Avenue where it was like all the bars and stuff. So it was really easy for me to just go out after work. I was right there. I literally had no excuse, at least to myself, you know? So I was like, well, I'm right here. I could just meet them there. You know, it's fine. But I definitely did orchestrate a lot of the raging.
And did you have fun in those situations?
I mean, I thought I did, but looking back, I was just being a drunk idiot making a fool out of myself. Like I get a lot of snap memories and I'm mortified. Just like the drunkenness that I thought I was like so suave and sexy. Like, no, sweetie, it's not a good look. It was not a good look. I am so thankful every day that I don't drink anymore because I was embarrassing. I made out with way too many people that should never have gotten my fucking time of day. Let's be very clear. And it's just like, yes, I had good times. There's a lot of nights where it was like, wow, that was a great night out. It was so fun. But a majority was, no, this was a train wreck. Who got into a bar fight? Like our friends are notorious for getting into bar fights. And I'm over in the back like, hey, stop it. Like, no fighting. And like, there was one night I'm not going to say names, but street fight. Mind you, we're all ladies and we don't act like that. Street fighting on the cement, on the concrete. I come in and I'm like swooping someone up, carrying them away. And then I didn't want to be associated with that anymore. So I got grouped in with the BS. And I was like, I don't want to be known as the trashy girl who fights in the bar because that is not me. So I never really did miss out on anything. And I'm glad I learned that. You missed some wild times down in Florida, Billy. We literally just eclipsed each other. Like, I'm so mad. You missed the shore house. You missed all that. I mean, like, listen, the shore house was iconic.
I would have said no to that.
But you still would have came down from time to time.
I guess. I actually shockingly like DJs.
It's a very special place. You have to be wasted to go there. I definitely had some of my best times there. I made actually a lot of friends there. Like drunken friends, because we were all the same people there every freaking night. Like, oh my god, you're here again. Like, hey, I just literally know some people by face because I saw them at DJs all the time.
Right. I guess Tiki wasn't too bad too. I think I've only been there.
Not for me.
I think I've only been there twice. I like that it was roomy compared to DJs. But
Tiki Monday was always a no for me, because by Monday I'm on a 3-day bender. It's hot. We're outside. To paint a picture, Tiki is down Point Pleasant, New Jersey. It's like a day party outside on the beach. No shade. So you're sweltering in the sun in the dead of summer. And at that point, I didn't want to drink anymore. I'm like, I'm toast from the weekend. And I've often found myself just like planted in the sand, waiting for everyone to finish their shenanigans. And I was like,
Literal
all right, guys,
sand.
let's go home. I was always the DD for Tiki Monday. Please, I'll drive. I don't want to rage anymore. I don't miss those days. I really don't. It's like, happy it happened. We'll never do it again. But I guess that's a lot in your 20s. It's like, glad
totally.
I experienced that. We're never doing that again.
Right, because you wouldn't know that now.
Exactly. And that's on growth and personal development.
I guess in the same vein of that is focusing on quality over quantity, but also I guess an example in the vein of like choosing like what I want and don't want to do. It can like be a struggle a bit. For example, the friends are coming down for her 30th birthday next month, and I'm like in between like what I want to do and not want to do. Like I want to go to Twist. Do you know what Twist is?
No idea.
Probably one of the most popular, definitely gay bars in Miami, but I honestly feel like in the United States.
Is it like more of a bar or a club?
I think it's honestly more of a bar vibe, but there's definitely a dance floor, and I think there's 2 stories.
Okay.
So
That's wild.
I don't know, and I just feel like it is like if there's a time for me to do it, it's probably then. But honestly, I'm so triggered from past experiences. So I guess this to say, I'm still growing, I'm still learning, I'm still working on these ideas, and I do have time to flesh that out. And I guess if I go or not
You
go,
also
I will
overanalyze everything, and you overthink everything, and every experience can be a new one. I feel like you often revert back to the past, like, well, this happened before, so it'll probably happen again, and you get triggered.
Yeah, I honestly definitely have trauma from a gay club experience.
Understandable.
So
They can be a little traumatizing.
literally. So I'm just like, I don't know if it's something that like I feel like I have to face my fear and go, or like it doesn't really matter that I go or not. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And like being a single person, especially for 5+ years, that's kind of like what I feel like I should be doing. But at the same time, that's not my vibe. So like, why am I meeting someone that's their vibe?
Mm-hmm.
So
Like your
it's
ideal
like this-
person, like, do you want them to be hanging out at the bar? No.
Exactly. I feel like I only want to go because I'm thinking I could potentially meet someone. So, and I don't know what. I literally wrote in my notes, what do you think I should do?
I mean, it's tough because when it comes to birthdays, that's like the exception where I'm like, okay, suck it up. But
It's a birthday weekend.
okay, so if
Slash
there's
kind of
gonna be
week.
like a dinner or something that you can attend, I'm all on the team of like, don't put yourself in uncomfortable situations, especially in a big setting like that where there's drinking and Lord knows what else going on. And it's just, it's very chaotic. I am not a fan of going out like that anymore. So you're probably asking the wrong person, or maybe the right person. But I guess it's kind of like, see how you feel. But you're probably going to be peer pressured, and it's going to be up to you to like stick to your guns. And if you really feel strongly about something, you have to trust your gut. Like there's a reason why you don't want to go, and you don't have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations.
No, it's definitely up to me and my choice. I don't feel like peer pressured. I feel like I'm peer pressuring myself at this point. So I just got to think about it. But
I always ask myself, like, when I feel like this, like, pros and cons, like, why would I want to go out versus why don't I want to go out, and kind of walk through it. Like, something along those lines, and you pretty much figure out your answer like that. Kind of break it down.
Yeah, I feel like I shouldn't go, but I'm still like, I don't know. I guess TBD.
You're weak. If you don't want to go, don't go, period.
No, like
That's
I do want to go, I think, but
But you want to go to meet
scared.
someone. Oh.
This
You
is
can
just-
also go, and like if you're uncomfortable, you can leave.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Moving on.
And then lastly, to kind of circle back to balance, is work-life balance. And that
Very
actually, balance is actually my word of the year. And
Okay.
I'm definitely applying it more than ever, but it's another thing that has also been a struggle. I'm pushing through it. I wasn't sure about recording, and I'm happy we are, and I'm happy we did. Scheduling is my best friend these days, and it's
For sure.
feels so good.
If I don't put it on the calendar, it's not happening. Life in your 30s.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
Like,
what about my planner?
I honestly never really did scheduling because I didn't like the set in stoneness, but I think that's just maybe
Some
even,
things need to be set.
yes.
But I also, like, I'll put things down with the mentality of, like, I'm doing this, but things could also change.
Right.
But like you said, if I don't put it down, it's not happening at all.
Totally.
But I think the word balance, that's something I think everyone tries to perfect, the work-life balance. I think balance is bullshit. I don't think you'll ever be perfectly, the balanced scale. I think whatever you're more invested in, the scale will always tip that way, And there's times where, for me, self-care is prioritized, so the scale is leaning more that way. And then there's times where I'm like, you know what? These next 2 weeks, I'm really digging into work, and I'm going to work my ass off. And I think it's just teetering back and forth between the two is what really is balance.
Totally.
Because it's never going to be equal. It's never going to be equal. But it's a matter of like making time for yourself, also making time for work, and making sure one never really overtakes the other. I started kind of picking that up in the last few years because my therapist told me I need to. I was never the kind of person that could sit down and do nothing. And she's like, Alexa, you need to just take a day and do nothing. So now, especially now that it's summer, I make sure once a week I'm floating in the pool, not doing a damn thing. Looking at the clouds, making shapes with the clouds, listening to music, and just really taking a step back. And it helps. It helps me perform better in my job. It helps me be a better person, a better friend. And I see the value in it. And now I really appreciate that.
Totally.
It's okay to do nothing. It's okay to do nothing. It's okay to relax. Your body needs it. Another thing I learned is listen to your body. If you feel like you can't do anymore, don't. If your body feels like you need to rest, rest. Listen to your body. She knows you best.
Loves it. That's so true.
Oh, thanks to my therapist. Shout out Stephanie. I would
Shout-
not be the woman I am without
We
her.
love you.
She's my bestie.
Do you have anything else that you want to say?
I have just an uplifting quote to end the day.
Okay.
But you
I
can
think maybe I'll
take her
say
home.
what I say and then that'll work better. I'm not going to read what I said because we'll never finish this, but basically live authentically,
Love that.
right?
Live your truth.
Like totally.
Live out loud.
Like we're naturally no, I can't read it.
I will say what I
Yeah,
want to say.
totally.
In the spirit of Pride Month, I found a nice little quote from Maya Angelou. Try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud. I'm always trying to be like the positive person in people's lives.
You are
And I think everyone should live that way
totally
too.
the rainbow in my cloud.
Slay. I'm the rainbow in many different ways, which is funny because I fucking hate rainbows. Like the whole pride rainbow thing.
Not cute.
Not for me. Not for me. Too tacky.
So-
Rainbow looks good on nobody. I'm sorry.
Primary colors, no.
Yeah. I'm lucky I'm wearing colors now. I usually just all black.
Should we just
Make
wrap
sure
it
to
up?
follow us
Yeah.
on our socials.
Oh, also something we didn't mention is super important, which is if you're listening, please rate our podcast 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Podcast, anywhere you listen. That really helps push us into the algorithm. We'd really appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, definitely maybe drop some, like, if you want some advice or topics you'd like us to talk about.
Feedback.
Feedback, totally.
Give us anything, please. Help us.
Yes. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying our little talks. And I kind of have an outro.
Okay, let's hear it. This is news to me.
To one generation, to another. Peace, love, and light. We out.
Yay!
Yay! I like the one generation to another because, like, we're millennials, you know? Spread the love.
Okay.
Spread the generation.
This is the Gen Z heart. I hate that.
Yeah.
It's always this.
Someone said that's like 3 hearts in one. I'm like, kind of true.
Whatever.
Extra hearts.
This was the easiest thing back in the day. It took me some time to learn how to do this.
I still am struggling, and I'm not going to try.
This is stupid.
All right, bye.